Bizarre Brain Comics. Yeehaw, partners! Hey! Howdy, partner. I am the Trigger Kid for Bizarre Brain Comics, and I'm here to tell tales of the Wild West that never was. I've been kind of wanting to do this for a while. If you've followed me for a while, you know I'm a big Western fan. I don't cover Westerns that often, but I'm a big Western fan. Western movies, Western novels, Western TV shows, and Western comics. Well, this time I went to out to one of my boxes filled with Western comics and got a baker's dozen just to show you some of the books that I've got here. We're going to start with something that everybody should know quite well, even if you've never seen them. This is from Gold Key Comics, 1967. Bonanza. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, you all know the theme. Here's the photo cover featuring Michael Lend and Dan Blocker and Lorne Green as the Cartwrights. In this particular issue, this is issue 25, and it is a reprinting an earlier issue. I don't know which issue it's through, but it just so happens that when I was a kid, that was when I had that original issue. But no cover, of course. And I'm sure this cover is different because this cover it shows photographs of the Cartwrights after Adam, oldest brother Adam, left the show. But he's in the story, as far as I can tell. He's in the story. So, and then we go to 1978. Weird Western Tales number 60, featuring Scalp Hunter. And I've done an episode on Scalp Hunter before. And this is, of course, with the great art by Dick Ayers with, I suddenly can't think of his name. Oh, this is Romeo Thengal, written by Jerry Conway. And Dick Ayers his best stuff was in the Westerns and the war comics. And nice, hearty adventure. Then we go to also 78. This is Jonah Hex Spectacular. No ads. A $1. $1 issue. Featuring Jonah Hex. Now, and this Spectacular also has a Batlash story and a Scalp Hunter story. But one of the very interesting, this is great Russ Heath art on the Jonah Hex story, because this is the story, the issue that first featured the Jonah Hex story, The Last Bounty Hunter, and it is the last story of Jonah Hex's life. It features the death of Jonah Hex and the events that happened to him after his death. Now, that sounds strange, I know. What could have happened to him because he was dead? Yeah, things. And now that I've found it, I want to sometime in the relatively near future cover that particular story. It's a very well written story, and of course beautifully drawn by Russ Heath, but it's also a story that features. I lost my train of thought. Don't you just hate that? it, it's just it's very kind of sad and poignant story. And I'm going too slow. Here we go to regular Jonah Hex. This is number 19. This is from 77, 78, 1978. More great Western action. And here's Jonah Hex 28 from 79. And this one's really good too. This has got artwork by E.R. Cruz, who I've talked about before in one of the horror stories. And then on the back, an ad for something you won't see anymore: a Daisy BB gun. Then move over to Marvel. This is from I think it was 2004. Was it 2004, 2006? I've forgotten. This is Mighty Marvel Western. They were doing a miniseries. This is a one-shot. Mighty Marvel Western. And this has the Kid Colt and the Arizona girl. And this is the only place I've ever seen her. I think this introduced the Arizona girl. Nicely drawn. And they were doing a series at the time of Mighty Marvel Westerns, and then was most of the stuff was reprinted then in a hardback collection, which I have. But one of the interesting things is this story, this Kid Colt story, takes place in a town in the West, of course, that is overrun with Skrulls in disguise as Western villains, and then has a single individual story of just known as Philadelphia Philly, and that's the title of the story. And then it is backed up with one or two reprints of Rawhide Kid stories. Then we go back a ways to this was, I think, 1973. Western Gunfighters, also from Marvel. Black Rider, Apache Kid, and Matt Slade. And this was featured reprint stories from the 1950s. But one of the great things on this is this great Jim Steranko cover. This was from 73? Yeah, 72. 1972. Jim Steranko cover. And of course, their individual stories featuring these characters are not all together. And then we have number 21 of The Ringo Kid. This is this is from also 73. This is reprinting an earlier story. John Severin cover and John Severin interior art. This features like three reprint stories from a few years before that. Ringo Kid wasn't as well known or as big in the 60s and 70s as he had been, as well known in the 50s. Then we have issue 23 of The Ringo Kid, and with Herb Trimpe cover. And I don't know who does the interior art on this, but it's definitely not. And it's still beautifully drawn. Still beautifully drawn, but not John Severin. Now we're going to take a step back to a little farther than your conventional Westerns. This is back to the earlier days of the American frontier with Classics Illustrated, Daniel Boone. This, of course, not associated with the TV show or anything else. This is based on a biography. Daniel Boone, Master of the Wilderness by John Bakeless. And that's it right there. Some nice artwork. Nice artwork. But then, now, Daniel Boone was an historical figure, but he was a strong, big influence on the writer James Fenimore Cooper, who created Hawkeye but here he's the Deer Slayer. Same character. Deer Slayer, James Fenimore Cooper. And some less spectacular art, but still very nicely done. James Fenimore Cooper wrote the Leatherstocking Tales. This is one of them. Then they were based on Daniel Boone. Then The Prairie. It features the same character, but here he's called Leatherstocking. This is when he's old. And then the best known of the James Fenimore Cooper stories is Last of the Mohicans. All these classic illustrated. And this is featuring Leatherstocking when he's got the name of Hawkeye. And this is from 1943. And it was John Severin art once again. Some very early John Severin art. So that is all I've got for you this time for some wild and woolly Western action. From the comics, from my personal collection. So thank you for joining me. Please like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. And do you like any Westerns? What Westerns do you like the best? Etc. Let me know in the comments below. And remember, comics are art.